channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at
Missing your child's sporting event?
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
My name is Mary Ellen Schneider, and I'm the Fine Arts Department Chair at St. Ignatius. I'm proud to say that we probably have at least 50% of the student body involved in one of the visual or performing arts throughout their career here. It's important for the students to be involved in the arts here because they learn something that they can enjoy for a lifetime. There's no cap on how old you can be to be a musician or a visual artist and create. Our talented students are very creative. Beautiful things are displayed around the school. They also get very excited about productions and concerts, performing for others. And there's so many options for you and so much for you to have fun with. I love being department chair because it's exciting to be able to lead a group of other artists and to see them be able to be involved in the arts. Sometimes at the high school level, it becomes very selective. We have so many things here that are inclusive of students at all levels.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another production of Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by St. Ignatius College Prep Athletics. I'm Kyle. My name doesn't matter. This guy matters. Of course he matters. He's the signal caller, the quarterback, one of the captains on this team, Leo Rugai. Leo, what does it feel like to be back on the field?
It feels great. It's been a long time off. Been working hard for a long time. Quarantine was good for a lot of guys, put some weight on, get in the weight room, and we're excited. We're just happy to be out here.
Does it feel weird playing in the spring? Do you play other sports besides football, and did you kind of have to make a decision about sports this season?
Yeah, I do. I play baseball, but thankfully nothing's conflicting, but it's definitely interesting to be playing in the spring. First time I've ever played football in the spring.
A little bit colder tonight than usually in August and September?
Yeah, definitely. Feels more like October, November.
You guys played Benet last year, got up to a good start, 6-0 lead, then 35 unanswered points. What happened there?
We were a little inexperienced, and we hadn't seen great competition up until that point, so I think we're going to be more ready, more prepared today.
What are we going to see from the offense? A lot of triple option like last season or more spread?
It's going to be triple option.
Absolutely, and every now and then a little dime to E.J. Tellerico?
We're hoping so.
Final thoughts about the game tonight, Leo?
Just excited to be here. Let's have a good game.
That's quarterback Leo Rugai. We're going to take a break. You are watching Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
To lead a group of other artists and to see them be able to be involved in the arts. Sometimes at the high school level, it becomes very selective. We have so many things here that are inclusive of students at all levels.
Welcome back to the pregame show brought to you by St. Ignatius College Prep Athletics. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. This young man matters. Graham Cooney, who plays slot receiver and a little cornerback tonight, is going to be playing double roster, both offense and defense. Does it get a little bit tired out there playing both positions, both sides of the ball?
For sure, but we've been conditioning all year for this, so I should be ready for tonight.
You guys had a great start, 6-0, not so much to end the season. What's it going to take to have more consistency and a little bit less Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde?
Just discipline. We got to stay disciplined, do your job. That's all it's about. Ignatius is a tough team, but we're out here to play. Win.
You guys pretty much took care of St. Ignatius, but that was at your home field. Is there any home field advantage that Ignatius has this time around that they didn't have when they were on your field?
I would say less so without fans, but there always is some sort of pride you take playing at your own stadium. So.
Absolutely. Was the drive bad tonight? I was in traffic myself. Wasn't too great coming into Chicago tonight.
The drive was it's long, but I mean, it's a lot of time to get prepared, get in the right mindset.
Are you a hockey fan at all? You're wearing the Red Wings jersey, but are you a Blackhawk fan at all?
I'm a little bit of a Hawks fan, more of a playoff fan.
Just like playoffs?
Yeah, basically. Me and my buddies, we watch them in playoffs, but I don't really keep up.
What are we going to see from the offense tonight for Benet?
A lot of explosiveness. Quarterback Boff he's really great, got great legs on him. Probably expect him to run a lot.
Absolutely. And final thoughts about the game tonight?
It'll be a fun one to watch, fun one to play. I just hope everyone's here excited for some football.
Stay safe, right? No COVID problems after tonight?
Exactly, I hope so. I want to play a full season, so.
Absolutely, Graham. Good luck tonight.
Awesome, thank you.
That's Graham Cooney. Coming up next, our play-by-play broadcast with Josh Sperber on the call. You're watching Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Awesome, thank you.
My name is Patrick Winter, and I'm the chair of the Religious Studies Department at St. Ignatius College Prep. This is the department where we take the academic discipline of theology and we engage our students in questions about God, about meaning, about purpose. I think of us as kind of a worldview department. And what we do is we take the students who come in, we meet them where they are, but then we try to take them somewhere else, somewhere new. What happens in our classrooms is that it becomes kind of a dynamic exchange between the students and their own context and their own experience and the tools that we try to offer to them, and out comes something that is a mix of the religious studies curriculum that's grounded in the Catholic tradition, but also that's brought to life by their own experience and their own reflection and the questions that they have. And the students who we teach really do a wonderful job of actively engaging in that dynamic process.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
My name is Pat, who we teach really do a wonderful job of actively engaging in that dynamic process.
Coming to you live from Fort Nelly Field here in the heart of Chicago, we have the first game of the football season in the Chicago Catholic League. St. Ignatius Wolfpack hosting the Benet Academy Red Wings.
Test 4, test 5, test 8, test 9.
My name is Mary Ellen Schneider, and I'm the Fine Arts Department Chair at St. Ignatius. I'm proud to say that we probably have at least 50% of the student body involved in one of the visual or performing arts throughout their career here. It's important for the students to be involved in the arts here because they learn something that they can enjoy for a lifetime. There's no cap on how old you can be to be a musician or a visual artist and create. Our talented students are very creative. Beautiful things are displayed around the school. They also get very excited about productions and concerts, performing for others. And there's so many options for you and so much for you to have fun with. I love being department chair because it's exciting to be able to lead a group of other artists and to see them be able to be involved in the arts. Sometimes at the high school level, it becomes very selective. We have so many things here that are inclusive of students at all levels.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your...
My name is Mary Ellen Schneider, and I'm the Fine Arts Department Chair at St. Ignatius. I'm proud to say that we probably have at least 50% of a group of other artists and to see them be able to be involved in the arts. Sometimes at the high school level, it becomes very selective. We have so many things here that are inclusive of students at all levels.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense, and Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
My name is Patrick Winter, and I'm the chair of the Religious Studies Department at St. Ignatius College Prep. This is the department where we take the academic discipline of theology and we engage our students in questions about God, about meaning, about purpose. I think of us as kind of a worldview department. And what we do is we take the students who come in, we meet them where they are, but then we try to take them somewhere else, somewhere new. What happens in our classrooms is that it becomes kind of a dynamic exchange between the students and their own context and their own experience, and the tools that we try to offer to them, and out comes something that is a mix of the religious studies curriculum that's grounded in the Catholic tradition, but also that's brought to life by their own experience and their own reflection and the questions that they have. And the students who we teach really do a wonderful job of actively engaging in that dynamic process.
My name is Mary Ellen Schneider, and I'm the Fine Arts Department Chair at St. Ignatius. I'm proud to say that we probably have at least 50% of
to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at Sports Broadcast Solutions.
Triple option from St. Ignatius. We're going to see a lot of tonight. Leo Rugai under center at the quarterback, and Cam Roberson, both returning starters. Both guys who averaged around 5 yards per carry last season for St. Ignatius. And for the visitors in Benet, they have some guys coming out of the slot, another run-heavy offense, and it's going to be Nick Johnson carrying the load, I think, on offense, because Nick Boffia, their senior quarterback, is in his first year as a starter under center. Just 3 passes thrown last season. Of course, the only completion was for a 55-yard touchdown. Excited to see what he has in store for us tonight.
Yeah, it should be a good one tonight. Now, obviously, St. Ignatius, they struggle with teams that can spread the ball around to other receivers and tight ends, especially quarterbacks that can get on the run, which is what Benet has been known for the last couple of years. Athletic quarterbacks. I mean, it seems like every high school nowadays, it's athletic quarterbacks. You very rarely see a high school pocket passing program unless you're out in California. But for Benet especially, they like to run spread when they play St. Ignatius because you're not going to be able to beat them through the trenches. That is the bread and butter of St. Ignatius. Power I, pound it down your throat, triple option. If you want to win, you're going to have to throw the ball tonight.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of guys who can run the Wolf Pack, but Benet, again, resting on the hopes of an inexperienced quarterback. A guy I want to keep my eye on is Augie Mazza, the wide receiver. Their leading receiver from last year, 13 receptions for 230 yards in 2019. And it's weird saying last year without a season in 2020, but this still being the 2020 school year. We're just happy to have some football playing in March.
Absolutely, and the fact that we're still having football with the pandemic still very much in effect. Now, people are getting vaccinated every day, even in the state of Illinois. Illinois was a little bit late to the party, which is why it took so long to have high school football in the state this year. But it is great to see the kids out there playing football with 20% capacity. No away fans today, so we do appreciate all the Benet fans that are watching tonight. Unfortunately, though, because of the pandemic, it's only 6 games, no state tournament, and only 6 games, not even a conference tournament either.
It's got to be disappointing for some of these seniors to not get the full compliments of their final football season in high school, but I think that might just make them play even harder. This is any one of these games could be their last one on the field, something that I was saying when I was covering high school football in Indiana in the fall. You really never know what's going to happen if there's a COVID problem on the team, and I think it's just going to make the seniors play that much harder.
Absolutely. So me and Josh are going to take a break. The public address announcer, as you can hear him through the rafters, and when he's done after the national anthem, we'll be right back. You are watching Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Both are members of the IHSA, the East Suburban Catholic Conference, and the Chicago Catholic League, and are committed to ensuring the highest possible standards in this contest. The athletes are friendly rivals, yet members of the opposing team. Their participation reflects the essence of interscholastic athletics, that is, to play hard but fair. The officials for tonight's game are responsible for administering the rules of the game. Their experience and integrity qualify them for this important responsibility. We encourage you to demonstrate good sportsmanship throughout the contest, no matter what your personal feelings or loyalties may be. Our head referee tonight is Kevin Tucker, the umpire Mike Jagalowski, linesman Nick Ippolito, line judge Drew Mortson, and the back judge Dennis Tucker. We ask that you all direct your attention to the Wolf Gate for the 2020-20. We ask that you all rise, and gentlemen, remove your hats for tonight's invocation led by our own Father Brian Tabor.
Let us all pause for a moment of prayer. In the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the blessings of this day. We thank you for the opportunity to play this game. We ask that these young men who are about to take this field may equip themselves well and use the talents with which you have endowed them selflessly. In the Spirit of your Son, in his name we pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. St. Ignatius.
Pray for us.
Thank you, Brian Tabor. Please remain standing and face the flag as we join senior Evelyn Mulcrone, a harlequin and lead singer in the choir, and number 75's big sister for our national anthem. Thank you, Evelyn Mulcrone.
Have consistency with your tight ends and wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean, this is honestly just a very difficult time to be debuting as a starter in high school football game. Last year, Bafia had 9 carries and 3 pass attempts in 2019. So, I mean, it's been a while since anyone has been on a field, but to have your first start in a time like this, it can't be easy. I know there are a lot of people that are struggling right now through this pandemic and have been, unfortunately, for the past year. So a huge undertaking like this in an environment that normally would be packed here in St. Ignatius, it can't be easy.
No, it certainly can. In fact, because of the pandemic, usually they do have the bleachers out in the south end zone. They don't have that this year because, well, west end zone. But they don't have them this year because of the pandemic. They did the best they could to have indoor dining or whatever they wanted to do for the fall season without sports, trying to make it up for the kids with fall banquets, whatever. The problem with that is the pandemic was still in effect, so the parents couldn't attend that either. So they would have outdoor banquets live streamed. I mean, it's such a weird thing, 2020 going into 2021, but it looks like things are getting better, Josh. We got 20% capacity, and we're allowed to play some football tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's the bottom line. You know, the kids are getting on the field, and we got football. It might be in March, but, I mean, they're talking a lot about March Madness right now. Maybe this qualifies.
You know, I love basketball, but I also love football. Let's have college basketball and high school football. What better way to have March Madness than that?
I can't think of any better.
And, Josh, it's your show, so have a good one.
Thank you, Kyle. And as we were saying, it is March Madness indeed. Very strange to be calling a cold football game at the start of the season in the month of March, where you don't usually have football. But again, we're happy to be here, Josh Berber and Kyle Smith, for Sports Broadcast Solutions. And with that, the high school football season of 2021 is kicked off, and we have a muffed snap, or a muffed return, rather, by the St. Ignatius returner. It looks like they came up with it, but not a great start for the Wolfpack. A little bit of jitters there.
Yeah, that's definitely not the best way to start. I think it was a pooch punt on purpose. And, you know, you don't expect that to start off the game, but anything's possible in the game of football. We saw in the Super Bowl, Sean Payton, the Craftsman, did that onside kick, so you always got to be ready, even at the high school level, for stunts like that. Little pooch kick and almost a turnover for St. Ignatius.
Weirdly, one of my favorite Super Bowl moments. Don't ask why. Under center for the Wolfpack, Leo Rugai, the all-conference player in 2019 and one of 5 or 6 returning offensive starters. Unsurprisingly, option play this time going to Talarico, who is tackled for a 2-yard gain.
It's a good way to start. So now 2nd and 8 coming up for the Wolfpack. And that's just how they do it, Josh. I mean, you could see a scenario where they'll do 3 running plays and not even play action, even if the running game's working. They're just going to pound it down your throat. Old school, we're talking like with the leather necks, if you've ever seen that type of movie with the rugby helmets on. That's how they like to play football here at St. Ignatius.
532 offensive plays ran for the Wolfpack last year. 88% of them were on the ground. So you're absolutely right. It's going to be a run-heavy game. Speak of the devil, up the middle. Pyle getting pushed. And it is Roberson out in front of that who might have gotten the first down.
Robertson on the carry.
We're going to wait for a spot, and it looks like the chains are moving.
Good for a Wolfpack. First down.
So it's a first down for Roberson after Taliafico's 2-yard gain.
And I think what's so great about the Wolfpack, too, is if you can have confidence in that running game, is you don't have to worry about the clock and the score because you have ball possession. So you don't have to worry about being a 35-28 shootout because you have ball possession, you control the clock. First downs are just so key for the St. Ignatius offense.
And the clock says 10.5 in the first quarter as that option, power side, taking it by Rugai. And Benet, the place kicker, making a tackle for no gain for Rugai's first carry of the season.
So 2nd and 10 on their own 38.
And something important you look for in this is Benet playing from the safety spot. That 2nd and 3rd levels really coming to help the defensive ends on those option runs. So something to keep an eye on for the Red Wings. Rugai under center again.
Yeah, nobody in the backfield, so probably a passing play.
Motions Malloy in the backfield, and looks like someone jumped early on Bennett's side for an encroachment penalty.
Encroachment on the defense. Backs him up 5.
So a 5-yard gain on the penalty for the Wolfpack. 2nd down and 5 now.
So they did give him a yard or they didn't give him a yard?
No, they did. It's a 5-yard penalty on
the 2nd and 4?
For encroachment.
So 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3 now. Apologies. It's Rugai under center. Malloy faking the motion, and that's a bobbled handoff, but Roberson stays with it, and he fights his way down to the 49, and for the first time, St. Ignatius is in Red Wing territory, and they get the first down.
Yeah, it's just a simple running play now. Rugai's got to be more careful with that snap, and you also have to have good communication with your center. You know, Peyton Manning was so great for all those years, but another reason he was so good, all-pro center and Jeff Saturday. Got to have that communication between quarterback and center at all times.
Yeah, Roberson, another returning starter, part of this experienced offensive front for St. Ignatius. Malloy in motion again. This time a quick handoff up the middle on the triple option. And it's Robertson again. He won't get much, though. He is met by a number of white jerseys. And looks like they're giving him a 6-yard gain. And that's the physical running of Robertson. Even when he is swallowed up, he is pushing that pile forward and churning those legs. Now it's 2nd and 4 on the 43-yard line as St. Ignatius is chewing some clock and chewing up some yards. 8:10 left in the first period.
Time for Benet to consider a blitz, but the problem with that is Rugai has a decent arm. They don't use him a lot, but when I've seen Rugai throw over 80-yard passes, so blitz not always an easy solution for the Red Wings.
He completed half his passes for 475 yards as Rugai fakes the option but keeps it himself, fighting his way for the first down. 5-yard gain for the first down.
Nothing too much there, Josh. Just a little quarterback keeper, and you just trust in your guards. They are just pushing back the Red Wing defense. Red Wings defense got to get a little bit lower and possibly collapse with their linebackers. Not a blitz per se, but collapse tighter because they know the run is coming.
So, 1st and 10 now for the Wolfpack, and it's going to be Roberson in the backfield behind Rugai. 2 receivers out, 1 on each side. Slot backs in there as well, Malloy. And now in motion and getting the carry and fighting his way towards the out-of-bounds line. It's E.J. Tallarico, leading rusher from last season. A 7-yard gain, just shy of a first down.
By Mike Manning, number 42.
So 9 yards on 2 carries for Tallarico. And the Wolfpack is moving. Kyle Loon, exactly what you said. Some power running, mixing out to side with some of these options and just running it right down the throat of these Red Wings.
Yeah, that was a lot of good job on the tackles. Got a pull left tackle, a little pitch play, and this St. Ignatius team, they got power and they also got speed. Now we just got to find out what they got in terms of their wide receivers.
3 in the backfield. Malloy motioning to the left side. Ball up the middle to Roberson. And he fights up the middle. Looks like he is stopped about a yard short of the first down.
A little bit surprising there, Josh. I probably would have liked to go with a fullback dive, but that's the problem when you don't have all-conference player and Declan Callahan. They don't have that go-to fullback they had last year. Fullback is so important in this triple option offense. They still have one, but just not as good as Declan Callahan. So you're going to see more quarterback keepers than, say, you saw last season.
Yeah, Roberson, 6'2", 194. Not usually the size that you want for a fullback. You want someone a bit bigger and more physical, but he's certainly got the speed.
I would be shocked if this was not a quarterback keeper, but I have been wrong before.
Well, we'll see. Rugai under center again with Roberson behind him. 2 slot backs. That's Malloy in motion. Roberson gets it up the middle, proving Kyle wrong, but looks like he gets a first down for the Wolfpack.
Just short on the first down.
No, he is maybe a yard short. So that means it's 4th and a couple extra, and it looks like St. Ignatius isn't going anywhere.
I mean, why would you want to punt here at the high school level? Way too far away for a field goal. Be about a 47-yarder. Can't do a field goal. You don't want to do a pooch punt. You know that the Red Wings have had trouble all day so far this game stopping the run. It's going to be run and have some fun. And for the Benet Red Wings, you just got to hunker down and try to stop it.
Well, a couple wide receivers out wide. It's Sampson and Stewart for Rugai under center now, but still 3 in the backfield for the Wolfpack. 4th and 1, 5.5 in the first quarter. As a timeout is called by Matt Miller of the Wolfpack. Couldn't get the play off in time. Maybe some miscommunication with Rugai under center.
We'll take a quick break. You are watching Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
My name is Mary Ellen Schneider, and I'm the Fine Arts Department Chair at St. Ignatius. I'm proud to say that we probably have at least 50% of the student body involved in one of the visual or performing arts throughout their career here. It's important for the students to be involved in the arts here because they learn something that they can enjoy for a lifetime. There's no cap on how old you can be to be a musician or a visual artist and create. Our talented students are very creative. Beautiful things are displayed around the school. They also get very excited about productions and concerts, performing for others. And there's so many options for you and so much for you to have fun with. I love being department chair.
Like similar personnel, just one fewer wide receiver on the left side. It's Stewart split out to the right. In motion, but keeping it is Rugai, and he's going to get there. Leo Rugai coming up huge on 4th down and getting the first for St. Ignatius.
Mikey Malik on the tackle.
Wow. Leo Rugai, reason why I wanted the captain of his team. He can pass the ball, sure, but he is not afraid of lowering the shoulder and getting the first down. And this just does not work well for Benet because St. Ignatius, they don't care if it's a 14-7 game. They love to run the ball. Benet's got to find a way to stop this.
That's 5:07 left in the first. Rugai now 3 carries for 12 yards on this game, and a big first down there. Knocking on the door of the red zone or the Wolfpack. And Rugai gives it to Roberson. Going up the middle, gaining about 5.
Over to the left side, stop by number 50, Joey Infante. Good for 2, 2nd and 8.
Scratch, that's a 2-yard game. But Robertson, 23 yards on 6 carries now. He's really been the bell cow so far tonight.
As you would expect, one of the upperclassmen leaders of this St. Ignatius team is Cameron Roberson. Plays a little linebacker, plays a little fullback. Big boy at 6'2".
Gotta love a nice big running back and certainly a physical downhill rusher. You don't see him breaking out to the sides a lot. He's the guy that you want hurting him up the middle. 2nd and 8 now on the 23, rolling out to the right side. Will we see our first pass of the game? We will, but it is thrown incomplete by Rugai. 3rd and 8.
I like the idea, Josh, but I don't like, especially for a team that's not known for passing the football, I want to have my quarterback stay in the pocket. It's just not a spread offense, so I want him to stay in the pocket and read. When you try to roll spread, that's fine, but when you're not built for that, you can't throw it across the field unless you have that arm strength. So you're really constricting yourself to where you can throw the ball.
And honestly, with all the running plays that we've seen, I would have liked a play action to start it off, maybe to throw off Benet a little bit, but no dice. 3rd and 8, 4 minutes remaining in the first. We're still scoreless here at Fornelli Field. 2 receivers, 2 slot backs, and a running back behind Rugai. And with a little trick play there, Malloy gets it, and he's knocked down for a loss.
Yeah, I think they wanted to run the flea flicker, but they just don't have enough separation from their wide receivers yet, Josh, because Benet doesn't care about the passing game right now because they know that St. Ignatius wants to run it. So those quarterbacks are cheating up most of the time. They're not really afraid of the passing game right now.
And good defense from Benet making a hold, and it's 4th down and 10. And Rugai is going back out there, so a long way to go if he wants to get another 4th down conversion.
Yeah, Rugai is a great athlete. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a pooch punt here. What do we got, 4th and
10.
4th and 10, yeah, I would be shocked if they actually went for it.
26-yard line. No one back deep for Benet. Malloy in motion. And looks like Rugai's going to hurl it. And it's caught for the touchdown!
Oh, my goodness. I was wrong again, Josh, and I'm glad I was wrong. It's a touchdown for the Wolfpack.
Wait, I think I might have been wrong. I think it looks like the receiver was knocked out of bounds. Tallarico looked like he came down with it, but the referees are calling that incomplete. Wow, that was so close to an incredible catch.
Rugai was a little bit late on the throw, but he had the man. Great idea. I am shocked by it. Again, I know I've said that a lot and I sound repetitive, but I thought it was going to be a pooch punt. See what this young kid can do. For Benet at quarterback, they go for it, almost get the TD. That time just doesn't go their way.
Now it's going to be Nick Bafia under center. His first high school start, and his first play is to give it to Nick Johnson. The bell cow running back, 5'11", 180-pound senior. And he is dropped. Don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. Loss of 1.
No gain. Stopped by Damian Lasik behind the
Say he got back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10 at the 24.
2.5 left as going up the middle is Bafia, and he is smothered by the Wolfpack defense. That's why they call him the Wolfpack right there. The whole defensive line knocked down Nick Bafia. 3rd and 10.
They seem like a team unit, don't they? Just like a Wolfpack you would see in the wild. Everybody joining in together. The pursuit was there, and finishing with the tackle.
I just watched The Hangover the other night, too, so there's plenty of lines from that coming up as well. But 3rd down and 10, Bafia rolling out to the right side. His first pass is caught for a big gain. Number 4, Graham Cooney, getting the first reception of the game on a long pass that takes Benet into enemy territory, but a flag on the play.
Could be a hold. Lot of room to run for the quarterback for the Red Wings.
And it was a sideline warning for St. Ignatius. They got a little too excited, and it looks like Cooney went from the 26 just short of the 50. So a 23-yard pass play. And not bad, as another pass play attempted, and this one is not ruled incomplete. Intended receiver was Ryan Snell.
It was caught, a gain of 4.
I can't see the far sideline, excuse me, but Ryan Snell with the 4-yard reception. And that one is caught, a bit longer of a game. And Augie Maza getting his first reception of the contest. 3-yard reception. And we are in enemy territory now. 3rd down and 3 on the 44-yard line. As Nick Bafia, 3 for 3 so far in his high school starting career.
Offside on the Wolfpack. Can't have that. Can't have that. I know it's early. I know it's weird playing football in March, but you got to know in the back of your head, 3rd and short, they're going to try to draw you offside with that hot count every time.
And they did. Bafia moving up to the 39-yard line now, as Benet clearly trying to win this one through the air, and Bafia 3 for 3 for 30 yards so far on the night. 4 receivers, and Johnson to the right side of Bafia. It's Johnson getting the fake. Bafia takes the option, goes up the middle, is knocked down, and a nice hit by Jack Clisham. And Bafia getting a short gain. Clock still running. We're at 48 seconds. So Bafia's second carry of the night goes for 6 yards, and after 2 no-gain runs, Benet is moving. Bafia keeping again. Going out to the right side. St. Ignatius wants a hold, and a flag is thrown, so I think the referees heard him. Looks like that one's coming back.
I've been wrong 3 times tonight, so I'm just going to let the officials call it.
And a hold is what it is, 5 yards back, and 10 yards back, rather. It's been a while since I've watched football, and Second down and 13 now.
To the Wolfpack 44.
So 32 seconds left in the quarter. We're still scoreless. And Benet getting their first setback of an otherwise strong offensive drive. The first is a starter for senior Nick Bafia. Bafia rolls to the right side. He's got some room, was looking to throw. Instead, he'll keep it, and he's tackled in the middle. A 6-yard gain, moving the Red Wings back to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, good decision there. Really had nothing to do with it. Nobody was open. Just take the yardage that the defense gives you, and should be fourth down, correct?
And it looks like it's going to be second, and third down rather, but that will do it for the first quarter. Benet not running a play, letting the clock run out, but we are scoreless in a nice game of some smash-mouth football. It's great to have football in March, but we'll be right back on the Sports Broadcast Solutions YouTube channel, a network for everyone.
My name is Mary Ellen Schneider, and I'm the Fine Arts Department Chair at St. Ignatius. I'm proud to say that we probably have at least 50% of the student body involved in one of the visual or performing arts throughout their career here. It's important for the students to be involved in the arts here because they learn something that they can enjoy for a lifetime. There's no cap on how old you can be to be a musician or a visual artist and create. Our talented students are very creative. Beautiful things are displayed around the school. They also get very excited about productions and concerts, performing for others. And there's so many options for you and so much for you to have fun with. I love being department.
Here we go, 3rd and 8 coming up for the Benet Red Wings.
And almost had a guy junk. Bafia with a nice-looking hard count there. He's under pressure, rolling out, throws it incomplete at the feet of a diving E.J. Tallarico, and that'll bring up 4th down and 8. Decision time for Patrick New. Don't have a punter listed on the roster, but it's going to be Will Benish. Also doubles as their starting strong safety. And we will see Benish come out for a short punt. Back to receive is E.J. Tallarico, who had all 9 punt returns for St. Ignatius last year, returned them for a total of 97 yards. So almost 10 yards per punt.
Trying to get a little pooch punt and a fair catch coming up for the Wolfpack. Oh, wow, that was an unnecessary hit.
Couple of flags going down there. It looks like it was Gabe Amaker who knocked his man from the Red Wings into Tallarico. So deeper field position for the Wolfpack on their second drive.
Yeah, not too sure what was happening with Benet on that play. You knew it was going to be a pooch punt regardless. It's either going to be a fair catch, a ball that goes out of bounds, or a ball in the end zone. You just got to be more under control. And I get that first game. I'm going to keep saying this all night. It's weird playing football in March when you're not used to it, at least for games that count. But still, you got to play under control, especially in a game like this. Both teams struggling a little bit passing the football, especially St. Ignatius. You can't make plays like that.
But you don't usually start off the season when you're cold. And let's not forget, this is the first time these guys are hitting other teams' jerseys in a year and a half, Kyle.
It's been really weird during this pandemic.
It's an odd time. The crowded backfield is in motion as Tallarico. The first completion is made to E.J. Stewart, or Evan Stewart, rather. It's Rugai on his third attempt, getting a 4-yard completion to Stewart.
Yeah, try to get the confidence up. Nice little button hook play, and just keep that chemistry up between your wide receivers and your quarterback. I like the play call there from St. Ignatius.
So 11-18 left in the second. Second down and 7 on the 34-yard line. Once again, a heavy backfield. Sampson and Stewart split out wide as Rugai ducks under center. Malloy in motion. Roberson gets it. And that simple triple option going up the middle. Forward progress should give Roberson about a yard, but he is thrown back.
It looks like that Bennett's getting better with wrapping. The pursuit's been there, but not so much on the wrapping. Getting lower and just getting there quicker to the ball carrier. That's what's gonna work against St. Ignatius tonight. Pursuit, getting low, arm tackles is not gonna work against the triple option.
And it is not, but adjustments made by Benet, and defense certainly looking stronger than that first series. Second and third and 5 on the 36. 10:15 remaining in the second quarter. Malloy in motion again, this time going to Tallarico. Tallarico, quick feet, dodging defenders and fighting his way to the first down. Nice juke moves for EJ, and a big gain of about 15.
Isn't it great to have that little nifty little tailback in the backfield? You can't give it to him 25 carries a game, but every now and then, that Tallarico or that Tariq Cohen type of player, he can create separation, a couple of back and forth moves, and just so now you see 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Oh, Tallarico, 18 yards on 3 carries. He led the Wolfpack last season, 46 carries for 292 yards. Only person on the team who ran for more was the quarterback, Leo Rugai. And Rugai's going to drop back in the pocket, unleashes one to Stewart, but it's incomplete.
Not the greatest throw. I think Rugai trusted his wide receiver to get more separation off the line of scrimmage. That's why football is such an underrated rhythm game. You know your 40-yard dashes from your wide receivers, and if you don't know that, it's plays like that that's going to be overthrown. Not exactly a terrible throw by Rugai, but if you think your wide receiver's faster than he is, then it was a bad throw.
And Rugai, on his 4 completions, he's really just whipped it off quickly. Just not looking for a lot of time in that pocket. So he might need to kind of remember how it is to be hit, to get hit. He is trying to throw that out before the pressure comes. 9:32 remaining in the second. Still on the 45-yard line is Malloy in motion. Quick handoff up the middle of Roberson.
Robertson on the carry. Good for 3 yards.
And Robertson gets a 3-yard gain, makes it 3rd and 7.
I like the play call. Passing game's been hit or miss tonight, especially with the deep ball. Rugai missed on that 4th and 10 play, so you do a little run up the gut, get 3 yards back, and then 3rd and 7. It's your call. Do you want to do play action? Do you want to do a little spread? Maybe a play action boot, or do you feel confident enough to get 5 yards on the rush? Because this St. Ignatius team, they have a punter, but they are not afraid for going for it on 4th down, regardless of where they are, especially at midfield like this.
And we've already seen him go for 2 4th downs, one almost a touchdown, and one was a short run from Leo Rugai. But it's 3rd down now, and Rugai under heavy pressure as he rolls out to the side, and he's brought down by Michael Manning. So Manning brings him down for just a 2-yard gain.
With a 0-0 score, I really think you got to punt here. I know you want to be aggressive, but the defense has been there all night for the Wolfpack. You got to punt and have faith in your defense.
And it looks like it is Henry Helms back to punt. Helms, the sophomore.
And unless it's a really low line drive kick, I'm just going to call fair catch because Bennett's been a little bit shaky on their special teams. Not that St. Ignatius has been that much better, as they almost fumbled a pooch punt to start the game.
Yeah, we saw a muffed return and a hit last time, and not actually making the catch, letting the ball bounce, is Graham Cooney, and it takes a favorable Wolfpack roll, and Benet will start with the ball deep in their own territory.
Helms punts down by Tony Torado.
So still scoreless, 7.5 remaining in this second quarter.
For Benet, I think you just have to go with the passing game to start off this drive, even if it's incomplete, because St. Ignatius is built both sides of the ball with the running game. Try a couple of passes. It worked to fruition their last drive when they had 1st and 10 at the 48. I think you do a couple of pass plays here, maybe an out route.
And 1st and 10, that first carry is up the middle. And it's Nick Johnson who takes the ball for about an 8-yard gain. But a flag down, so that might be coming back.
Whenever there's a lot of space, sometimes it means there's a reason.
And Johnson certainly had a hole up the middle, but it was a Red Wing false start that nullifies what would have been Johnson's second carry of the game. It's been the Nick Boffia show so far for Benet. 3 carries for 12 yards, 3 out of 4 passes completed for a total of 30 yards. But he's got 1st and 15 inside his own 20. Boffia takes the snap, and Johnson is tackled in the backfield.
Johnson on the carry again.
So 2 carries for the senior, and he hasn't gained too many positive yards. 0 yards on each carry, and it is 2nd and 15 at the 7-minute mark of the second quarter.
Wouldn't that be something if this was one of those 3-0 or it ends on a safety type of games? I don't think it's going to be like that. Somebody's bound to score. We saw the Wolfpack almost get a touchdown on 4th down, but this is run and gun. So if you like old-fashioned running the football, you're in for a treat tonight.
Hey, I'm all about it. Nice pass in the flat, caught by Johnson. He is knocked out of bounds for a short gain. And it was Jack Malloy who made the tackle. It's going to bring up 3rd down as the clock stops at 6:42.
I'm going to say a play to the tight end. Try to fake the screen pass, see if the tight end can get some separation off the line of scrimmage. Good job there with the passing play. Oh, sorry, it was a quarterback keeper.
Yeah, and that was Boffia again getting his 4th carry of the game. It is close, but not enough for that 4th down. Looks like he is about a yard short.
You got 3 timeouts here. I think you got to try to draw them offside, and then if you can't, then you call the timeout, then punt.
So Boffia, 3 straight runs of 6 yards. And we've almost seen him draw someone offsides on a hard count, but it is Benish punting as the Red Wings are just too deep in their own territory to risk it. So Benish with his 2nd punt of the night. And it's Tallarico back to receive, who's going to wave it off as this takes a favorable bounce, but no fair catch called. He ends up picking up the punt and gaining about 4 yards on his first punt return of 2021.
You got to have a lot of confidence in your senior to go after that ball with 2 players from Benet going after him like that, especially with a ball that looked like it was going to die, not at the 30 necessarily, probably around the 28. He had confidence in it, and if you have a really good special teams player who doesn't fumble the ball often, why not? I like the decision by Tallarico, but if he ever fumbles, Coach Matt Miller is going to say, I love you, Tallarico, but don't ever do that again.
You're absolutely right, but definitely a good decision keeping that ball from dropping any further into Wolfpack territory as we are on just about the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, 5:45 left in the half. And up the middle to Robertson, who looked like he was going to catch a break, but instead catches that Benet defensive line. Looks like Joey Infante was there for the Red Wings. And another 2-yard gain for Cam Robertson. So 9 carries, 30 yards for Robertson.
This Benet team looks a little bit small, so I don't know if they have confidence in the screen game tonight against the Red Wings, but I would try it a couple of times. You can't be afraid of it. You got to keep the defense on edge. This would be a good time for a screen.
And Henry Helms out on the side closest to the broadcast booth here as the lone receiver, 4 in the backfield. And that one, a play-action fake, a little lob pass up the middle intended for Tallarico, but incomplete again. And once again, that pressure from Benet forcing Rugai to release the ball earlier than he'd like to.
By the way, the text line is open tonight. You can text your favorite high school football memory to 330-957-7653.
Thank you, Kyle. And we're just under 5 minutes in the quarter, 4:52, and we're on the 37-yard line, 3rd down and 8. We might see a second consecutive pass play for the first time of the night from the Wolfpack. Definitely a run-heavy team. Malloy in motion, coming to the right side, and looks like some play confusion for Rugai with his coaches, changing the play, and instead he'll call a timeout before the play clock runs.
Might have been intentional there. I think they were trying to draw him offside with the audible, but Benet finally showing a little bit more composure, a little bit more discipline, and no choice for St. Ignatius but to call a timeout. We will take a little timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're watching Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
4:50 on the clock, 3rd and 8. And Josh, I think you got to go passing play here, but they have tried to run those pitch plays on 3rd and long. Do they feel like they can get it done tonight? It's up to Matt Miller, of course. I think you have to go passing play, even though they've been inconsistent with it tonight.
Oh, no question. It's definitely a passing down, just a little too far out for a run play, and they've been getting like little small chunk plays, but nothing really game-breaking so far. So I don't think that they can really trust a running back to make a play this long to get the first. It's 3rd and 8 now on the 37, and Bennett's really settled in on defense.
3 wide receivers set, 2 to the right.
Malloy motioning from the slot back position, and it's going to be Tallarico. He's had so much explosiveness, and what a nice hit. Joey O'Malley. Oh, my.
A little bit too high for my liking, but then again, I'm too critical for my own liking. But that was a heck of a tackle, though. In the open field, a little bit high, but he made up for it with his strength, and really nothing Tallarico can do. When a guy can tackle you like that, you just got to give yourself up and hope you don't get hurt.
Yeah, about a 3-yard gain for Tallarico, who is above 20 yards on the night running, but not enough to move the chains for the Wolfpack, and it's Helms going back to punt again. 2 returners for Benet. Looks like it's Nick Johnson and Joseph Keogh. It's Johnson who gets it now. Trash that, it's Liam Johnson. And Johnson got some room on the left side, down the sideline, so a decent gain, but he's knocked out of bounds just past the 50-yard line at the 48.
St. Ignatius is a private school, and for any high school anyways, it's not like you're going to recruit for punters, but obviously it is hurting St. Ignatius tonight. They just don't have that punter. Benet doesn't have that much better in terms of a punter, but yeah, that one hurt St. Ignatius. A low punt, and when it's like that, you can return it, and return it for quite a couple more yards, more than the St. Ignatius fans would like.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of those like pin and back kind of punters in the high school game. It's just not as common, but probably the best starting field position of the day for either team, and it is going to be Bafia on the play action, and that one just too tall for his receiver, Kyle Modi, the intended receiver. So Bafia, 2 straight incompletions after completing his first 3 passes of his first varsity start, as 3:48 remain in the second. 2nd and 10 now for the Red Wings. 4 wide receivers out as Bafia finds some space and scrambles. He is tripped up by Tallarico just short of the first down, about a 7-yard gain.
Good run there for Tallarico, not Tallarico, for Bafia. And that's something that St. Ignatius knows, that you got to be able to score points. The defense has done their job tonight. You're going to give up points tonight. You got to find a way to score, so hopefully you can hold them to a field goal here.
And Bafia, that one's deflected high up into the air, but no one's going to pick that up for the Wolfpack. And that one is knocked down for 4th and 2. Hard to even tell who the intended receiver was. That was the lineman of the Wolfpack leaping to swat that one out of the air almost instantaneously. So it looks like we'll have a 3-and-out as Benet is out to punt again, and Tallarico back to receive. He's got 3 minutes and 37 seconds left to work with once the Wolfpack goes back on offense. And Benet with a nice boot. Going to bounce, roll to Tallarico. He's going to make a nice juke out to the left side. He's got some space. Hitting the 20, breaking a tackle, and knocked down at the 25. So E.J. Tallarico, a 15-yard gain on that punt. He's had a couple nice returns. And that one could have been even more dangerous, but Tallarico making a nice return. Really quick feet he has.
Yeah, he has a good job, too, of maintaining his balance and able to change from left to right. And that's what makes an ACL injury and an Achilles injury especially so lethal, is it changes your balance and your ability to go from left to right. But if you don't have that Achilles injury and you don't have that ACL, obviously Tallarico is fully healthy. When you have that ability, it can definitely keep the defense on edge.
And he certainly has. We've seen him make a couple of runs off that option. And fouls on each team, it looks like, but nothing will change. It's still 1st and 10 on the 25-yard line for Leo Rugai and the Wolfpack. 3.5 left in the first half. We still have not seen a point put on the board. And certainly first down and 18 now.
Yeah, I think you just got to play. Don't fumble the football. Play a little possession football here and hope for the best.
Rugai under center, a full backfield and 2 wide receivers. Rugai's tackled, fumbles, but he falls right on top of that one. And that is great defense from the Red Wings.
Great defense. Rugai has to be better about handling that football. Second time today, he has almost lost it. Remember, there was that mishandle between the center and Rugai. That time, almost a fumble, and you just cannot afford to give away free points, because that's what it basically would be inside the 15-yard line, fumbling it there. And that's probably what the offensive coordinator, Matt Miller, is telling Rugai, look, man, it's okay to be nothing into halftime. Our defense has done the job. We'll readjust the offensive game plan into halftime.
And a 5-yard loss for Rugai after that almost would have been that potential just touchdown-saving fall onto the ball from Rugai. Ryan Snell there making the tackle. As a timeout is called on the field, and it's going to be the Wolfpacks. The culprits, their second of the quarter. We have 2:08 left.
Only one timeout remaining for St. Ignatius. Kyle Smith alongside David Izzo on videography, Josh Sperber on play-by-play commentary. And what do you think that St. Ignatius is saying during this timeout?
I think they just need to kind of get their blocking a little bit in order. A bad fumble on the last play, a hold on the first play of the drive. So they just need to get some guys up front and block for their runners. They're deep enough in their territory that looks like you're going to see another triple option play to try to move the ball forward, run out some clock so that Benet doesn't have too much time left to make one push for a first half touchdown. We're at 2:08 now in the second. Second down and 23 with Rugai and the Wolfpack on their own 12. Three wide receivers for the Wolfpack, most we've seen from them. And it's a run play to Robertson up the middle.
Yeah, Josh, there's no way they're going to pass the football. It's 2nd and 23 in a nothing game. Incompletion stops the clock. Just no way. Of course, Bennett's going to call one of their 3 timeouts here.
No, and that is Robertson now. Robertson with a 3-yard gain, and I think that was just Miller's way of trying to confuse Benet with the formation. Did not work, and it is a timeout for Benet as they're trying to conserve as much clock as possible. And the way Biafia has been throwing the ball, he's made a mistake on that last drive, but I'm curious to see what he brings in this upcoming 2-minute drill.
Yeah, you also have to know how much confidence do you have on your kicker. Not as windy as last night, but once again, you're not used to kicking in the spring, so do you have confidence in your kicker kicking over a 30-yarder in the spring? These games matter, but they also don't matter because it's not for the state title. But you do want to see what you can do next year, assuming your kicker's not a senior. So really interesting position that Benet is in. The other thing you got to think about is, will a touchdown end this game? Does St. Ignatius have enough offense to score a touchdown tonight? So would Benet want to go for 4th and 10 at the St. Ignatius 20, knowing that a first down might lead to a touchdown before halftime?
And St. Ignatius, after a long first drive of the game, has only about 2 or 3 first downs after that. So it's certainly been a defensive battle out in the cold here tonight. So 3rd and 20, 2 minutes left in the quarter, as we should be seeing a pass here.
I don't know. I think they want Benet to waste another timeout.
And looks like they will. It's going to be a keeper from Rugai, gaining a couple of yards on the play. It'll still be 4th down, another Benet timeout.
Timeout, Red Wings.
I know the fans aren't happy about that, but you just can't give Benet a free timeout with an incompletion. I know it stinks. They have to punt, but are you really going to convert on 3rd and 20? I love Leo Rugai, but he's not Aaron Rodgers. So I just don't know the probability of converting on 3rd and 20, the fact that it's been pretty inconsistent with getting separation off the line of scrimmage for the Wolfpack wide receivers tonight.
Certainly is only one Aaron Rodgers, and Rugai showing some success tonight. And on the ground, 6 carries for 15 yards. But they've got some time to think it over. But should be seeing the punter coming out, and that's going to be Henry Helms.
And what's cool about the high school game, Josh, is they play NCAA rules. So first down stops the clock until the officials reset the ball. So that's really important. St. Ignatius has to play more aggressive on defense because even if you're tackled in bounds, if it's a first down, stops the clock for a brief second.
And Benet's certainly been the team that has had more success moving the ball, definitely in the passing game with Bafia. But splitting 3 straight completions for 3 straight incompletions as he is getting ready for his first 2-minute drill of his high school career. First and last season, one of the seniors who's going to have their career tragically cut short by this pandemic.
At least they get 6 games, but man, I'd love to see a state tournament, as every season.
Wouldn't we all? Unfortunately, not in 2020, in the 2020-2021 season. We might still see one in 2021, but that'll be another year. Keogh muffing the punt, and he falls on it just in time. That was dangerous after about a 40-yard punt from Henry Helms. So another special teams mistake there, Kyle.
It hasn't been, and you got to think, just joking, are the officials putting oil on the ball and making it slippery to catch? We all talk about Tom Brady and Deflategate. Tonight, do we have Oilgate from the officials? Obviously not, but yeah, a little bit weird. It's not that cold tonight, so you wonder why they're fumbling all these balls.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We're going to see a lot more special teams drills at both of these teams' practices. Each side has missed a punt, and a late hit on a fair catch as Bafia in the backfield with a slot back and 4 wide. Bafia's receivers are jammed, so he's going to have to scramble. Pockets collapsing. Bafia rolling out to the right side. He is going to run out of bounds, and he is knocked right before he gets there. A big hit from St. Ignatius. Talarico drawing it down, and that might be a late hit.
I don't know. I thought he was still in bounds when he got the hit. This is humongous in the game because both teams are struggling on offense.
Flag is down. The refs are talking it over. It would be it would be a gain of about 2 for Bafia. So it looks like a foul on each team.
Wow. I didn't see that. Did you see it, Josh?
I did not.
Wow. I thought they were going to think about the late hit near the sideline.
So still going to affect that. A 15-yard loss on the penalty.
It's first down.
And it's going to be first and 25.
It should be first and 25. If it's a 15-yard roughing call.
Yeah.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Hate to see that at any time in the season, but you're a little more excited at the season start, and this one more than any with everything that went on in the fall season.
Now you got to think for Benet, incompletion stopped the clock for St. Ignatius. But I don't think you got to think like that. I think you got to think we got to find any way possible to get 3 points here, even if it means throwing it over the middle and possibly being an interception.
You're absolutely right, but they're certainly playing that 2-minute drill offense. Just one in the backfield, 4 wide receivers, only one on our near side, and a little screen pass to Nick Johnson. Johnson burst to speed, almost getting to the midfield line, dropped at about the 46. So Johnson getting the reception.
Out to the 44.
So a
should be a 5-yard
gain.
For the Red Wings.
And Bafia's first pass completion since the first quarter.
This Wolfpack team, they really earned that moniker Wolfpack, don't they? Great pursuit, didn't panic, got low on the tackle.
And that one under pressure from Bafia. And Bafia ends up keeping. I don't know if he threw it before he was ran out, but
yeah, there could have been a lot of different. Yeah, they're gonna. Was he past the line of scrimmage? You had a better angle at it than I did, Josh.
It looks like he threw it when he was out of bounds, and he was way past the line of scrimmage.
He was definitely outside the tackle box, so they must have said no eligible receiver in the area.
No, he threw it right. He threw it right at the ground. So definitely a good call by this officials team, and some sloppy penalties from Benet, and a grounding call makes it third, and I don't even know how many.
At this point now, with only St. Ignatius having one timeout, I think you just got to do a running play. You just can't force an incompletion. Give St. Ignatius a free timeout. You know, you're not going to be happy being a 0-0 game, but you cannot give St. Ignatius an interception or a fumble, or a million bad things can happen when you pass the football.
Still 4 wide, but it's going to be a quick handoff up the middle to Johnson. And Johnson is knocked down in the backfield by Jack Clisham once again. And Clisham, we've seen him fight his way into the backfield on a number of occasions. His second tackle for loss of the game. So Johnson has 2 receptions for 13 yards, but 3 carries for nothing. And the teams are letting the clock run.
From the Red Wing, 39.
And maybe there might be a punt to just end the half off, but it looks like we are going to end this first half scoreless.
I'm surprised. I thought that St. Ignatius would call a timeout, do an all-out block, or possibly set up a punt return. You got 1 timeout left. Why not use it?
And it looks like Coach Miller is going to take that into the half with him, and we will head into the half scoreless. 0-0. Neither team has gotten past the red zone. On that first drive, St. Ignatius was close, but it has certainly been a defensive battle here tonight.
How about that, huh? I was thinking a little bit shootout football. Could be 3-0, could be 2-0, or we could end the game on a touchdown pass to make it 7-0. Either way, if you had this score 28-21, you were wrong tonight.
Yeah, well, my bracket's busted. I'm not picking the score right in this game. My whole March Madness juju is certainly throwing off my prediction game, but I am predicting a very interesting second half. We'll be back for more on Sports Broadcast Solutions, a network for everyone.
Levine, nice pass. Cut. Thaddeus Young with a beautiful pass. Cut.
Zach Levine sure knows how to put that orange ball into the hoop, but leading the Chicago Bulls to regular season wins, not so much. Since joining the Bulls during that blockbuster Jimmy Butler mega trade with the Minnesota Timberwolves, Levine's Bulls have basically been in the lower tier of the Eastern Conference. they've been so below mediocre that Chicago has never reached the 30-win plateau with Levine as their star attraction. Levine is a very nice player, and he's arguably the most underrated isolation scorer in the NBA. But are the Bulls going anywhere unless they can get another star player in Chicago? The answer to that question is an obvious no. And with the New York Knicks now showing promise, and the Bulls still hovering around 500, it might once again be hard for Levine and company to try to entice free agents to sign with Chicago this summer. So, if Arturas and his front office mates can't persuade free agents to play their home games at the United Center, is there really a point in keeping Levine? Once again, Levine is an excellent player to have on your team, but if you're never competing for a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference, then what is Levine's true value to the Bulls? In my opinion, Levine creates more harm to the Bulls than good stuff, and this has nothing to do with his game. Well, mostly. His defense is still spotty at best, but you can't argue with his current stat line in 2021. Over 27 points per game and shooting over 51% from the field. Former Bulls two-guard Jimmy Butler is obviously a better two-way player than the very athletic Levine, but Levine's shooting numbers can't be ignored. The real issue with Levine's presence on the team is his scoring numbers can't single-handedly carry the Bulls when they aren't getting significant contributions from their second and third best scorers. Why is that the case? Well, Levine isn't necessarily a great distributor of the pumpkin. If we consider all guards, his 5.3 assists per game are barely scratching the top 10 in the NBA. So if he can't pass the ball well, he needs major contributions from his teammates. Don't expect too much. Besides, Levine, none of his teammates are presently in the top 50 for both player efficiency rating or points per game. The problem is because Levine is such a gifted scorer, he can help lead the Bulls to some games they really shouldn't win. Overall team chemistry? It's hard to definitely say, but probably not. Honestly, the Nuggets probably advanced as far as possible last season with their current roster. A Western Conference Finals appearance is great, but when you have an elite front court player like Jokic on your team, you need to take a chance at competing with the Lakers, Clippers, or even the Jazz. Adding Levine might still not be enough to compete with LeBron James and the Lakers, but it's worth a shot. The good news for Denver is Levine's contract is very similar to Harris, so you basically get an upgrade at shooting guard without having to go into the luxury tax to address the upgrade. It seems like a win-win situation for Denver. What other teams should trade for Levine? The Philadelphia Sixers come to mind as a great fit for going after the Bulls two-guard. The 76ers could trade Danny Green, which would be very appealing to the Bulls since he's on an expiring deal. The easiest way to rebuild is picking up expiring deals and then starting from scratch in free agency. Like Denver, Philadelphia's draft picks aren't that appealing. However, when they're unprotected, there's a chance that the Bulls could pick in the top 15 during the 2022 draft. Levine is a good enough player where Chicago could demand unprotected picks in 2021 and 2022. A 2023 76ers unprotected pick is very unlikely to happen for the Bulls, but anything is possible. Denver and Philadelphia are the two teams who desperately need Levine in order to compete for an NBA title. Denver is especially in need of an isolation player like Levine since they've been such an enigma on the offensive end. If Philly goes after Levine, they're pretty much telling the fan base that they're all in when it comes to competing for an NBA title. With their current core of Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Tobias Harris, it's definitely worth a shot. Brooklyn has yet to play unbeatable basketball, but I expect that to change as we get closer to the postseason. However, even with a big three of James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving, the big four of Embiid, Simmons, Harris, Levine might even be better than Brooklyn's humongous three. If Denver and Philly don't pull the trigger on dealing for Levine, expect the Lakers to factor into the Levine sweepstakes. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is an excellent role player wing, but he's nowhere the same scoring threat as Levine. The Lakers have young role players that the Bulls would love to have, Alex Caruso and Montrezl Harrell. The issue for LA is the Lakers have an excellent closer as is, and the main reason they went after Harrell is to weaken their in-city rival, also known as the Clippers. The defending champions might also not see a lot of value in Levine's game. Remember, the Lakers are the best defensive team in the NBA, something Levine isn't well known for during his tenure in the association. Would acquiring Levine actually make the Lakers a worse defensive unit? In my opinion, Levine's offensive attributes more than make up for his defensive liabilities. Don't sleep on the New York Knicks. They would love to keep winning games and possibly sneak into a 5 seed for the playoffs. Then again, Madison Square Garden won't have any fans during the playoffs. If anything, MSG would be less than 20% capacity. Is it worth it for James Dolan to trade for Levine and possibly ruin the chemistry they've finally started to get with their good young core? I think that it is, but it might not be for head coach Tom Thibodeau. That being said, the Knicks are certainly making a push for the playoffs. They recently traded for former MVP point guard Derrick Rose, and with COVID-19 still very prevalent in American society, making the postseason would be huge for the Knicks. Even without fans in the stands, New York City sports fans would still watch the NBA playoffs, and with LaVine on the roster, that gives them an even better chance to advance to the Eastern Conference semifinals. But what do you think? Should the Nuggets, 76ers, Lakers, or Knicks trade for LaVine? Make sure to comment below and subscribe to Sports Broadcast Solutions.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Welcome back to 4 Nelly Field, and it has been a nail-biter in this first half. A strong defensive game from both sides. 0-0 on the scoreline at halftime. Josh Sperber, Kyle Smith here for Sports Broadcast Solutions. And Kyle, it has been a run-heavy game on both sides of the ball. Just 7 passes thrown by Nick Bafia of Benet, and 5 from Leo Rugai, and it's really just been a run-dominant team, and each defenses have stepped up. It has been an absolute war in the trenches.
It sure has, Josh, and we thought that was going to be the case for St. Ignatius, and we were right with our prediction. The problem is they're just having trouble with passing the ball. Not just that, but nobody's really open except for that 15-yard completion we saw from Benet, quarterback to wide receiver. Other than that, it's basically been 3 yards and some dust. And they've been doing screen passes, a little button hook action, but it's been very hard to get the fly routes and the out routes consistent with it. And unless they can start to get consistent with it, you're probably just going to see power I, single back formations, triple option, obviously, with St. Ignatius. The problem with St. Ignatius, too, is they don't have enough confidence in their guards and tackles tonight because they're not being able to hold back the defensive end and the defensive tackles.
And we'll take a look at some of the stats in the first half. As I mentioned, just 12 passes thrown in this whole game, starting with the visitors at Benet Academy. Nick Bafia, 4 of 7 for 35 yards, and he also has a leading rusher for Benet, 5 carries for 26. Nick Johnson, no yards gained on 3 carries, and Graham Cooney, the leading receiver, with his 23-yard reception early in that first quarter. 1 for 5 for 4 yards is Rugai. And Cam Robertson leads the way on the rushing side with 10 carries for 33 yards. Rugai's got 6 for 15 himself. And Evan Stewart, the lone receiver, with a pass caught with a 4-yard reception as each team is heading back on the field. And Kyle, there's a lot on offense these guys need to do just to move the ball down the field better and get a little bit closer to the end zone. We're going to start with Benet. If your coach knew, what'd you say to your guys in the locker room?
Doesn't matter. It's literally a 0-0 game. We just erase what happened. We can't completely erase it, obviously, because we have to think about what we did wrong. But we have them on their toes. St. Ignatius only had 1 scoring opportunity, and it was on 4th and 10 when Benet wasn't ready for it. They thought it was going to be a pooch punt, and just St. Ignatius caught them off guard with the quarterback under center. He rolls to the left, throws it over to Tallarico, and it was a good pass, but just a little bit to the left, and Tallarico couldn't stay in bounds. But other than that, for Benet, you just tell your kicking, your kicker and your punter, whoever you feel comfortable with, because at high school sometimes the punter is the place kicker. How do you feel? Because we need you, and it's not just those chip shots. We need you for 30 to 35. It's your number. It's your game tonight. How do you feel? Can you get it done for us?
And the Wolfpack have been the closest to getting it done, as you mentioned, that almost touchdown pass to E.J. Tallarico. 2 4th down conversions as well in offense. They're doing almost enough right now, Kyle.
Yeah, St. Ignatius, they've had their chances. We talked about that 4th and 10. That could have been the game the way this game's been playing right now. Really, they just got to continue to go with their game plan. This is literally a game that St. Ignatius wants. They're just not on top of the scoreboard, and a couple of plays haven't gone their way. They've almost fumbled the ball a couple times. Of course, Bennett's had that problem, too, on the punts. So it just was very sloppy, mostly on special teams, actually. It was sloppier on special teams than offense. But really, it might be a game of kickers. And if you love kicking, this might be the game for you. It could be one of those 6-3 games if you feel confident in your kicker. If you don't, it might be one of those games where it could be nothing, but if St. Ignatius is inside the 20 and they don't feel confident in their place kicker, they still might go for it on 4th and 5 inside the 20.
Well, in the immortal words of Taco from the league, I like kickers. They're the toughest. So hopefully we'll see some of these kickers toughen it out for these guys and putting some points on the board, but definitely going to be an exciting second half. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we will have another half of football on Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcast network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcast.
And it's going to go into the sure hands of Will Benish, kicker to kicker, as Benish makes a decent return, caught that at about the 25 and gains 9 yards. How about that, a kicker getting a kick return? What are the odds?
Hey, if nobody else can return it, what better person to put behind kicks than somebody who knows what kickoffs are like?
Yeah. I'll say it once, I'll say it 100 times on this broadcast because I love puns way too much. It's March Madness. Kickers are returning the ball. Everything is upside down. But one thing is not upside down is Nick Bafia, 4 for 7 for 35 yards in the first half and second among all rushers in this contest. This time he hands it off to Nick Johnson, who might have gained his first yard of the game. But once again, he is stopped at the line of scrimmage by this strong 3-man front for the Wolfpack.
I'm going to say it once, I'm going to say it again. You want to win tonight, you're going to have to go spread formation, roll outside the pocket, and throw on this St. Ignatius team.
Splitting 2 wide receivers, as that is a bullet to Benish, it looks like. Or check that, it's Cooney with his second reception of the game. He has 27 receiving yards now. And a 4-yard gain makes it a 3rd down and short. And that one high, and Jack Malloy was 2 steps behind that one, overthrown, intended for Augie Mazza.
Blocking wasn't great either, so even if he had completed it, it probably would have been short of the first down. But obviously, you don't want to be throwing it overhead over the hands of your wide receiver because that can lead to interceptions, especially if you're throwing it across the field.
And Jack Malloy was a couple of steps from making that interception, but he was a little too far back, and for the 3rd time tonight, we'll see E.J. Tallarico back to receive the punt. This time, he waves his hand in the air for the fair catch and makes it easily.
That's pretty ticky-tack. I thought he gave enough room to catch that ball.
Is that really what they're calling?
What else would it be?
Maybe a hold or something, but I mean, Tallarico came down with that cleanly, and it looks like you are right on the call.
Sideline warning on the Wolfpack.
Actually, they're giving it another sideline warning. I think that's the second sideline warning of the night.
You get one warning and then it's a penalty.
So that would explain the penalty. A very excited Wolfpack team to be on their home sidelines once again. Just they got to stand behind those white lines.
Yeah, it's definitely for safety. And unfortunately, we saw at the NFL level where a coach tried to trip a player and did during an NFL game. So it is a very serious rule. It's not just, just try your best to stay behind the white line. No, it is a safety thing. You got to make sure you're behind that white line.
I know. I think it was Jacoby Jones who got tripped. I can't remember the coach who did it, though. And going up the middle is Robertson. And he will gain a yard. And Cam Robertson has more carries than anyone else on his team combined. 11 carries for 34 yards and has been able to get positive yardage on all but one play. So a lot of those short gains to kind of make some impact against the offensive line and wear them down a little bit. But it's the rest of the team that needs to bring that knockout punch.
Yeah, and once again, it goes back to when you don't have confidence in passing the ball, the defense knows that too. They're going to stack the box until you can prove you can throw it to the sidelines or down the field.
And until then, the Wolfpack will be trying to break through that stacked box, as it's going to be Robertson again. Won't get much, maybe a yard or two.
It is nice to see the fullback. It's not dead in the NFL, but you don't nearly see it as much as the days of Mike Allstott and the other great fullbacks back in the day.
The glory days. As it's a 2-yard carry for Robertson, but it's certainly not dead for Kyle Juszczyk. He just got paid by the Niners.
He's almost like a tight end, how he blocks and
He's whatever they need him to be. He's the Niners hero that they might not be the hero they deserve, but he's the one they need right now. He is the.
I didn't know if you were going to go full-on Christopher Nolan references, but I guess we're going that way tonight since the score's still nothing.
I could quote that whole movie if you wanted me to. And a pitch out to Tallarico. This is where we've seen some dangerous running, and Tallarico making some nice move, breaking tackles, dodging defenders for a 6-yard gain and a first.
With Vic a lot in his prime. Obviously, he was running 4 or 5 40-yard dashes, but they would run shotgun with Vic, and then they would get that pulling left tackle and get Vic out on the edge. Rugai's great on the edge. He's got some size, too, with those quarterback keepers. They're not successful right now. I'd like to see him get on the edge and see if you can get those tackles into the play. But do you have confidence in the athleticism of your left and right tackles? And have you been practicing that a lot in practice? Hard to say.
Ball right at midfield. 2nd down and 9. 7:40 left in the quarter as that one goes up the middle with Robertson again.
Robertson on the carry.
And Robertson a 3-yard gain, averaging exactly 3 yards per carry. And it's been those chunk plays that are slowly moving the ball forward. St. Ignatius dominating the time of possession because of Robertson just continuing to chew up yards and chew up clock.
Once again, do you feel confident in your field goal kicker? 20 yards in the future, do you feel good going for that field goal? I don't know. It's still early on in the 3rd quarter, but I just don't know how many more chances St. Ignatius is going to have on offense tonight.
Yeah, right now we're certainly not in field goal range. Is 3rd and 7. And a flag on the play. Someone might have jumped on Bennett's side. The play ends up being Rugai gaining a couple. But we'll see. It looks like this one's going to come back with a flag that early there.
It was really early. Can't be a hold. I'd be kind of shocked if it was a hold.
Looks like it's going to be an illegal formation against St. Ignatius.
That's the problem with the triple option. So many things happening. Sometimes you lose your assignment. And especially in a year like this when you weren't able to practice for 6 months. And remember, these kids have only been practicing since March 1st because of the pandemic. Individual workouts, sure, but team workouts, very few and in between. And when you're running a triple option, sometimes those assignments or lack thereof can happen. That's why there was an illegal formation for the Wolfpack there.
And football's certainly a team sport, and you need to get all those team concepts down. And as you said, it's just they haven't had the time. So back in their own territory will go St. Ignatius. And it's going to be 3rd down and long. 6.5 remaining, 49-yard line where the ball is for the Wolfpack, and it's Keogh under center. Tallarico in motion. Instead, they give up the middle to Robertson, and not much going on for this run game. And back in enemy territory, but it may have forced a punt situation.
A little bit surprising that you don't want to do the passing play, but if you don't have confidence in your quarterback, you don't have confidence. It's really not about Rugai either too much. The guards and center haven't been great either. And because it's a triple option, they don't run a lot of shotgun. It's not a spread offense. That time you really want to go shotgun. They don't really run that a lot. So they're just going to run it and do a little pooch punt, see if you can pin them inside the 20.
And with Helms back to punt, you really haven't seen any of these teams that willing to take chances. You've seen there was 1 or 2 deep ball attempts by Rugai. They went flying over Evan Stewart's head, as that one is going to hit behind the oncoming defender, Tony Tirado, and that one takes a Wolfpack roll, but out of bounds. So Benet will take control deep in.
From their own 27.
So a good play call to start off that drive, and some good execution. Johnson going to get some confidence, and Johnson's going to take it again. And he's going to get the first down. Check that, it is Carson Forney getting his first carry of the game. He is not even listed on the 2 deeps here for Benet.
You saw a little B-gap blitz there from the Wolfpack, and I like the aggression. But eventually in football, there's an offensive line, there's a defensive line. The defensive line can't win every battle. St. Ignatius' defensive line has won the majority of them, but law of probability says Bennett's going to win some of them. That time they do, what can St. Ignatius do to adjust? Because they can't afford a touchdown. In fact, they really can't afford a field goal either, but you can live with the field goal if it happens.
So that an 8-yard gain for Forney, who remains in at the halfback position, but it's Cooney on the reverse, and a big stop from the Wolfpack. Number 3, John Kemp, making his first tackle of the night, and that is a big loss for Forney.
How about that, huh? A sack to ignite this fan base and your teammates. Excellent tackle. Got low, pursuit was there, shifted the feet well.
And under center again, 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side. And still, it's Forney in the backfield. It's a quick pass, almost picked off, and it looks like that's a catch. That was a very, very dicey catch. A lot of traffic, but it's going to be Modi coming up with it for the 4-yard gain.
You want to be QB1, sometimes you got to throw in those tight windows, especially a close game like this.
And that brings Bafia's total to 50 yards on the game, 7 for 11. As a flag is down and a false start is called against Benet. So their first down of the second half leads to 1st and 15 on the 43.
Can't have it. I mean, what else can you say? But you just can't have it. You got to know your assignment, and I give these kids a little bit of some credit, and I don't want to critique them too much, but you can't have it, especially on a known passing play on 1st and 10 at the 48.
2:45 left. Bafia under pressure. Screen pass tipped up, incomplete. And it was Jack Clisham who was inches away from the first interception of the season. And that will bring up 3rd down. Or 2nd down, rather, sorry. So 2nd and 15. Or I was right, scoreboard's wrong. 3rd and 15 with 2:44 left in the 3rd. And it's definitely a passing scenario here.
Problem is, stops the clock, but the good news is for Benet, you have an incompletion. St. Ignatius hasn't really done much on offense either. The chess game continues.
And a play option, Bafia's going to take it, and Bafia's got room down the sideline, and that could be a touchdown, but a flag is in the air.
That's got to be a hold. He had so much room.
Nothing else. There's nothing else it could be.
And you can see the side judge saying, "Hold your horses, Benet," and he's waving back. He's waving it back.
That would have been a huge play for Bafia. Hold. It looks like he's going to take back a 57-yard run.
Timeout called?
No way.
Wow. Touchdown's good. No flag.
Oh, so I think it was it might have been a sideline warning. So that's a 3rd sideline warning for St. Ignatius, but it looks like we've got ourselves a touchdown, and it's Nick Bafia a 57-yard touchdown run.
Benet on for the extra point for the Red Wings.
So the first time we're going to have an extra point on the night.
Could be the last one, too.
Let's hope not. I love a good touchdown. And that brings Bafia's rushing total to 83 yards with that 57-yard score as Benish's kick is up and good. So for the first time tonight, we have a touchdown. 7-0 for the visiting Benet Academy. Bit different than the score line last year. We'll be back.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Third quarter of action, a 57-yard sneak from Bafia to the end zone, and it was an immediate penalty. We've seen a lot of those today. We thought it was a hold. Another sideline warning. Only in high school football do you see that, though a couple of times. You'll see it at the NCAA level, especially with Jim Harbaugh on the sidelines for the University of Michigan. But 57-yard, little option to the right. Maybe that's what Bennett's got to do, Josh, because that was very successful.
Yeah, you think that St. Ignatius is going to be running all the option plays, but it's Nick Bafia, the senior quarterback in his first start, who's the one bringing that option to glory. And Benish, who just made the extra point, is going to kick it off to Robertson and Tallarico. Going to the right side, just out of the end zone. It's going to be Tallarico with it, trying to get some space. But he is swarmed by white jerseys and knocked down at the 15-yard line.
Well, field goal would kind of help you here, but really you're thinking 7. Really what you're thinking is just 1 first down at a time. Ball possession key, but now you got to put that ball in the end zone or at least get 3 points, and now you got to get a stop on defense too. So what are you going to see on offense? Well, probably a couple of runs, and then you're going to have to go play action because Benet is stacking the box a lot.
And definitely you'll see possession football from this St. Ignatius team. And if I'm a betting man, I bet that it's going to Cam Robertson going right up the middle.
If they're going to run it, that's a good bet, my friend.
So 1st and 10 from the 15, 2.5 remaining in this third quarter. And it looks like they're going with a play action instead. Stewart is open. Can he get there? He's knocked down. Doesn't get the reception, and an easy pass interference call right in front of the official. Stewart knew it. Greg Fisher, the defending corner, knew it. And that is going to be a big gain on penalty yardage.
Remember, though, they play NCAA rules. It's only a 15-yard gain. It's not a spot foul.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that I got to say, that could have been a touchdown-saving penalty. Stewart looked like he was there. He had Fisher beat. And if he was completed, enough speed could have been trouble.
Yeah, it was a little bit late on the throw, but at the same time, you got to expect a lot out of your high school quarterback to be able to throw it 50 yards on a dime. That's like a Sam Darnold arm to be able to do that. But it was a good enough throw that the defender had no choice but to do the pass interference. Otherwise, it would have been a 40-yard completion.
Absolutely, and it's now 1st and 10 again.
10.
This time from the 30. Malloy motioning again. This time it's going to be Robertson up the middle.
And I just don't like that. They were showing some consistency a little bit with the passing game. You got to do it one more. I think 2 to 3 passes in a row to really keep Benet guessing. I don't like going to Robertson. I know he's been your most consistent offensive player right now to a certain extent, but they seem to find something in that last passing play. I would have tried to do it again.
Yeah, it's really just been kind of their default setting where they start off a drive with that. They had the trickery with the play action, but you haven't seen a play with with multiple passes in a row. It's what you said, and usually it's kind of you alternate any attempt at an option, a pass play with that Robertson rush under the middle. So not a formula for success, and that's why it is St. Ignatius chasing Benet Academy.
Look at that pitch. Almost got tackled for a loss and didn't really get much on it, but could have been a lot worse. Could have been a fumble, could have been a sack. Instead, it's a very short gain for the Wolfpack.
And Tallarico with a 1-yard reception, his first of the game. Or sorry, 1-yard rush, I guess. So Tallarico brings his rushing total to 35 yards. And it's 3rd down and 9 with about a minute to go.
And then it's decision time for Benet. Let's say that St. Ignatius doesn't get this first and they do an incompletion, make it 4th and 7, they punt. For Benet, you obviously want to score another touchdown, make it 14-0. This game is pretty much over. At the same time, though, you might want to just keep running the ball. Even if you're not getting first downs, you get a couple of first downs here, you keep running clock, and you put the pressure on St. Ignatius when the Wolfpack get the ball back again to tie it up late in the 4th quarter.
This time a quick bootleg out for Rugai. He's got Stewart open, almost a great one-handed catch, but a little too tall for the senior receiver, and we've got another 4th down.
That's why you do the drill, hands out, hands out. Unless you have exceptional talent, you always want to have 2 hands out at all times, even if you're not going to use that other hand. Just by the laws of muscle memory, you're going to use that other hand to help your left. When you don't have it ready to go, it gets there too late, and you have to force a one-handed catch. If the hands were out, it could have been a 2-handed catch and a diving play. Either way, it would have been a tough catch.
And Rugai rolling right into pressure as well, just put a little too much on that throw. As back to receive is going to be O'Malley and Johnson. Helms on the punt.
Remember, could be a little short punt again. You got number 9 ready for Benet for the pooch punt.
That one went straight up in the air. Mulcrone getting out of the way of it. And St. Ignatius is letting it roll. And it's going to be downed at the 38 by Damian Lissac.
We're up from their own 37-yard line.
So back comes Bafia and the Red Wings. Last time he touched the ball, he made some magic happen. A 57-yard touchdown run. That is the difference on the scoreboard. 7-0 with 26 seconds remaining. And it's 1st and 10 on the Red Wings' own 37.
For Benet, just try to get a couple of first downs. Keep that clock moving. Have the St. Ignatius office second-guess themselves on the sideline as we get closer to 0-0 on the clock in the 4th quarter.
And a handoff fake to Johnson. Bafia with a nice stiff arm trying to get some room. He was way behind the line of scrimmage, but burst his way ahead of it. Maybe a 2-yard gain for Bafia.
A gain of 2.
And that'll bring up 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8 from the Red Wing 39.
So 7 carries for 85 yards, and of course that 57-yard touchdown for Bafia, as that will end the 3rd quarter. We finally have a score, 7-0 off that big touchdown run from Bafia. We'll have one more quarter left when we come back on Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcast network for everyone.
My name is Mary Ellen Schneider, and I'm the Fine Arts Department Chair at St. Ignatius. I'm proud to say that we probably have at least 50% of the student body involved in one of the visual or performing arts throughout their career here. It's important for the students to be involved in the arts here because they learn something that they can enjoy for a lifetime. There's no cap on how old you can be to be a musician or a visual artist and create. Our talented students are very creative. Beautiful things are displayed around the school. They all...
Fourth quarter of action with 12 minutes to go. And Josh, are we going to see a...
For 50 yards is Bafia. He's got 85 on the ground, though. And Bafia again rolling to the left side. This time caught on the button hook. and that is Augie Mazza.
Yeah, that was just a great route by the Benet wide receiver. It was originally an out route, forcing the defender to cheat to the sideline and then coming back to the ball to help out his quarterback. That was.
And it's going to be 3rd and 5. In enemy territory now on the 43-yard line. This one going to the left side. Actually, they faked me out there on that option keeper. Faked the handoff to Johnson, and it's Bafia who gains about 1. It won't be enough for the 4th down.
Decision time for Benet. You're up 7, though. I just don't see why you would want to go for it here. Make St. Ignatius go the length of the field to tie this up at 7-7. That being said, if St. Ignatius scores a touchdown, they might go for 2 to win this game 8-7. Anything's possible tonight, especially with the St. Ignatius offense.
I'm not going to lie, I'd love to see that. I'd love a good 2-point conversion deciding a game, but it's Benet punting it. One high up in the air and taking a very friendly bounce for the Red Wings. And knocking that one down is long snapper Connor Lapine.
Wolfpack 17-yard line. They'll begin their drive. 1st and 10 from their own 17.
So 17-yard line is where the ball stands for the Wolfpack as we've got 10 minutes left in this contest. The Wolfpack looking to start off in front of their home fans on the good foot, but have yet to score a point in this one.
Field goal doesn't really help you, especially the way that Bennett's been running the ball lately and passing it. You got to think 7. In fact, if they get 6, they might go for the 2-point conversion and be gutsy. Matt Miller has done that before. I saw him go for an onside kick after halftime, down by 20.
And Malloy in motion, and he's going to get the pitch. Malloy's got some room on the left side. Leaping over a tackler on the sideline. That's going to gain 9, maybe 10. And a nice pitch play to start off that drive. They're going to turn that into a 12-yard game. His first carry since a 2-yard loss in the first quarter.
Excellent team defense, though, for Benet. Sometimes you might see a defensive end that kind of gives up on the play. They're like, I got beat. The play's to the other side. No, you have to pursue because you never know if the running back's going to do that little cutback move and try to go the other way. You have to pursue. Good job there from pursuit from the Benet Red Wings. Otherwise, it could have been more than 12 yards.
And Malloy, who's been kind of motioning and fake motioning all game long, getting something. This time it's the same sort of play to the right side. This time it's Tallarico. Tallarico breaks a tackle. He's into the open field, and he's brought down. 2 great pitch plays. This time about a 17-yard run for EJ.
You know what? I know you want to have a carry limit for him because EJ also plays wide receiver in pretty much every position on this team, including special teams. I think you just got to get it to him on the edge. You can't think injury. You can't be worried about an injury, but I still don't think you need to use EJ Tallarico for those I formations, single back formations up the middle. Get it to the edge. Try to call more time. See if it's successful. Right now it has been thus far.
He's the fastest player on this field and showing it. 7 carries for 52 yards in this, and a lot of them have gone. He's had multiple rushes for over 10 yards. So some big plays from Tallarico and 2 big first downs to start off this drive for the Wolfpack as a timeout called, as Rugai didn't like what he saw in that one.
We'll take a timeout as well. You are watching Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Stolen. O'Connor and Marsh back on defense, and Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world.
heating up for Jack Malloy, the junior. So you'll see another year of him, and hopefully it will be a full season in the fall of 2021. Roberson in the backfield behind Rugai. And in motion is Tallarico. Robertson gets the give up the middle, but an instant flag coming down from the referees.
Yeah, it looked like at least one of the players for the Wolfpack was in motion.
Illegal shift on the Wolfpack. Backs them up 5.
So a 5-yard loss on the illegal shift. And that ball moving down to the 46.
I think this game is so important for both teams, obviously in the conference standings, but it really shows you how every little penalty impacts the game. Sometimes when you get blown out 38-7, you think, oh, did that 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty really hurt us tonight? You really understand how every play impacts the team and how every bad penalty impacts the team, and that's really the case for both teams tonight.
And some penalties have derailed some progress, but a couple of big runs. And now a pass play. Rugai's got Tallarico open. He's going to make the catch. E.J. Tallarico, another huge play and a big first down, putting St. Ignatius in the red zone.
Pretty darn good throw right there by Rugai. If he had a little bit more touch on it, with the ball placed in front, it would have been a touchdown. But at the same time, wow. You got to have a lot of guts as a quarterback knowing it hasn't gone your way tonight throwing the ball. Excellent throw on the boundary. Rugai finishes it by staying in bounds, having at least one foot in to make the catch. Excellent execution by the Wolfpack offense.
And that is a 35-yard completion, the biggest pass play of the game and the biggest play of the game for St. Ignatius. And for the first time, we have a team in the red zone. QB keeper, Rugai taking it, stuffed up the middle. He might gain a yard.
A gain of 3.
We're giving him 3 yards on that play, 20 yards on 8 carries so far as the clock ticks under 7 minutes.
I don't know about you, Josh, but if I'm St. Ignatius, if I'm head coach Matt Miller, I'm going for 2. I'm going for the win. No state tournament. I'm going for the win. I don't care about OT.
No, I agree with you. You got to go for it all here. The couple of home fans that came out in the socially distant crowd, they want a show, and you got to give it to them. But
got to have a lot of guts, though, because you are going to have those naysayers. Why didn't you just get the extra point?
That one going up the middle. And won't gain much, but still chunk plays closer to the end zone, and it's, guess who, Cam Robertson. A short gain, if any.
Gain of 3.
And
3rd and 3.
It is 3rd and 3 now.
Is it 3rd and 3 from the 4 or the 14?
4-yard line.
So you can get a first down, and then you have 1st and goal, but obviously you're thinking TD.
As the only thought, 6 points, the only thing that everyone on this St. Ignatius roster is thinking. Looking for their first score of the season. That would be an extra point away from evening it up. With the holder, Ogane Iwuche, practicing. It's Rugai for the touchdown.
Put 6 points on the Jumbotron as the Wolfpack answer. They're 1 point away from tying it up.
Leo Rugai with the 4-yard score, his first touchdown of the season. He had 7 last year, and the all-conference quarterback puts Bestry in position to tie it.
Okay, well, I thought that Miller might have more guts. He has confidence in his defense, and go for the extra point.
And, ooh, that was close. But Bestry doinks it off the top corner, the top right corner of the post. That was very close to Coach Miller not listening to our broadcast.
Hey, if it goes in, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And for the Cody Parkey family, Double doink, doesn't matter. Close, but no cigar. If it hits the upright and goes in, everybody's happy. If it hits the upright and doesn't go in, well, not so happy. But this time it goes away the Wolfpack 7-7 as we go to commercial break with just over 5 to go. You're watching Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Johnson's deep for the Red Wings, 7-7 score. If you're just joining us, both touchdowns have come from the way of using your offensive line and the quarterback keeper. Both quarterbacks have rushing touchdowns today.
And you got to give some credit to all 18 of the other running backs for St. Ignatius. Is Johnson, that's Cooney with the return, getting about 10 on there. But you got to give credit to the slot backs, to the halfbacks, the fullbacks for St. Ignatius for making that drive possible. Tallarico with some big plays. Malloy had a couple of nice pitch runs as well. Just a well-executed drive for St. Ignatius and at the right time. And now the pressure is on senior quarterback Nick Baffia as his Red Wings start with the ball in their 25.
And here's the deciding factor. Do you feel confident in Benet? And Benet has obviously talked to the coaches, hey man, I want to win this. I want to win this with the kick. Benet just wants the win, so they can get the TD, great, but if it gets inside the 20, they got to think field goal.
And it's Johnson who gets the give, and he's met a bit north of the line of scrimmage.
Now, how costly was that timeout by Miller and the Wolfpack coaching staff? Only have 2. Can't stop the clock yet if Benet can't get first downs.
We shall see, but it's a short gain of 2 for Nick Johnson. So Johnson 6 carries for 10 yards as Baffia calm in the pocket. Sees some space up the middle. He's going to scramble and throw it ahead and over the head of Nick Johnson.
It just seems like the passing attack for Benet, led by their quarterback in Baffia, they're thinking the old-fashioned, we got to complete every pass. The game has changed. It's okay to get 5 yards and the quarterback slide. If St. Ignatius is going to give that to you, just take the 5 yards, especially since St. Ignatius has shown you nothing besides that last drive that they can put that ball in the end zone on offense.
You're right. I mean, St. Ignatius has been making the chunk plays, and Baffia just wants to make the calculation. And that is the specification that we need to make at this point because we are tied at 7. We'll start on the 27-yard line. And we'll see what St. Ignatius can do. They kind of changed up their MO on offense. They've been running a lot more up the middle, but a couple of nice pitch plays really opened the field up on that last drive for the Wolfpack.
Sure, it seemed like they caught Benet off guard with that, then the linebackers were cheating towards the boundary. That allowed the wide receivers to free up to get some space on the sideline. And because of that, you saw some good passes to Tallarico. Tallarico's pretty much been the one-man wrecking crew for the offense tonight. You can't really double him on defense. What you can do is have a safety over the top to make sure those windows are tighter for Rugai.
And Tallarico was just kind of stretching out his calf muscles there. He's certainly the guy I would want to have the ball right now for St. Ignatius. But he might be a little bit banged up. And this early going in the season with the little amount of play time they've had, that is always a cause for concern.
That would be something if Rugai decides to play baseball, because the baseball season doesn't start till mid-April.
And a pitch to Tallarico. Tallarico in a lot of trouble, and he's going to be brought down way behind the line of scrimmage. Well read by Benet. And a big loss to start off this drive. And that one is going to be knocked down for a 5-yard loss.
Once again, Benet has all 3 timeouts, so St. Ignatius has to get some first downs to at least get this game into overtime without having to worry about Benet going back on offense.
And the freshman sensation, or sophomore sensation, John Wiedenbach, who had 18 tackles as a freshman in 2019, as Tallarico is down on the carpet again. He might have some leg cramps or something, but that's the second play in a row that we've seen him having to get stretched out, and it looks like he's going to come off the field. And Jack Cronin, the backup wide receiver, out to the right side, and that's Malloy, who is brought down a short gain, but it's still going to be 3rd and long. So it's 5 yards lost on that Tallarico pitch. Malloy gains right back.
Get back to the original line of scrimmage, and for St. Ignatius, you could think passing play, and I think you do have to pass the ball because Benet has all 3 timeouts anyways, so you run the ball. Benet still has 2 timeouts left after calling a TO. So you go for it all here. You can't be too risky. You got to read the coverage well if you're a Rue guy, but have confidence in your playmakers. The problem is your best player, Tallarico, is having cramping issues.
I've not seen Tallarico. Actually, Tallarico looks like he's back on the field. Still a little ginger on those legs, but he's wrapped up and ready to go. And he's going to get called to action right away and maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. So a 2-yard run with whistles blowing and an immediate timeout called by Benet Academy, and we are going to call a timeout as well. The Red Wings will get the ball off the punt with just about 2 minutes to go. You guys better stick with us. It's going to be an exciting finish.
My name is Mary Ellen Schneider, and I'm the Fine Arts Department Chair at St. Ignatius. I'm proud to say that we probably have at least 50% of the student body involved in one of the visual or performing arts throughout their career here. It's important for the students to be involved in the arts here because they learn something that they can enjoy for a lifetime. There's no cap on how old you can be to be a musician or a visual artist and create. Our talented students are very creative. Beautiful things are displayed around the school. They also get very excited.
4th and 9 for the Wolfpack from their own 29. Helms in the punt.
4th and 9 coming up for the Wolfpack. Obvious punting situation.
And a other March Madness update, as we've said, the real March Madness is high school football going on right now. A local Purdue, the Boilermakers, boilering down in kind of their home area here, losing to North Texas in overtime, as a nice punt from Helms is going to be fielded by Keogh, and Keogh is going to get some space down the sideline, but he's knocked out of bounds by a couple of maroon jerseys. So a risky venture makes for about a 15-yard punt return, and Keogh brings the Red Wings close to their own territory with 2:03 remaining in regulation. And you see one of the bench players, Joseph Caproni, pumping up his team, because you can't really pump up the fans with a smaller amount of them in attendance. But definitely a time to get energized for both sides. It is a 2-minute drill, 1 score apiece. And 53 yards separates the Red Wings from a touchdown that would seal the deal with enough time killed. Rolling to the left and making the completion is Bafia, and there's going to be some more. Slipping defenders and running for a huge gain is going to be the guy we interviewed pregame, Graham Cooney. So he's made a nice couple of runs after the catch. And a big first down and a heck of a way to start the drive for the Red Wings, going from the 47 to the 25, so a 28-yard gain.
Here we go again. Do you feel confident with your kicker, or do you have to go all out, especially if it's 4th down inside the 20?
And Bafia throws it to Mazza for the completion. So 2 for 2 in this 2-minute drill is Nick Bafia, and this one's a 4-yard completion to Augie Mazza. So Mazza and Cooney getting the lion's share of the receptions as Bafia takes the snap in the shotgun. Dinky screen pass is caught. Johnson's got room, got space, got a touchdown! Nick Johnson, burst of speed, giving the Red Wings the lead. What a play, and it's 13-7 Benet.
That's what happens when you can't score points. It's not the St. Ignatius defense's fault tonight. That's just asking a lot to try to hold opponents to 14 or less. And, you know, St. Ignatius just didn't get enough offensively. We'll see what they can do on their 2-minute drill, but they're not a spread offense. I don't expect much. Big extra point here, though, because if St. Ignatius can score a touchdown late and Benet misses this one, we could see a 14-13 win for the Wolfpack.
And it is the first passing touchdown of the game. Bafia's second of his career. And Johnson, who is held without a reception, responsible for 2 of the touchdowns, but Cooney with about 20 yards after the catch, and Johnson doing all the work on that screen pass as Benish's kick is good. So it's 14-7 with 1:10 left for St. Ignatius. A tall order for them to tie this game, but anything can happen here at Fornelli Field. We'll be right back. Here in the Chicago Catholic League. Benish on the kick. Back to receive is Malloy. And Tallarico, the primary returner, he is not out right now as he had some leg problems. And Malloy is going to do the smart thing and let that ball roll out of bounds. So that could be huge. No one touched it. And it going out of bounds, we're going to start on the 40. And that is a big swing in field position for St. Ignatius. So a good start on that return, ball actually starting on the 35. So 1:10 remaining, one score separating each team. Both quarterbacks have a rushing touchdown, but it's Nick Johnson playing the hero on that 21-yard screen pass that he took in for the potentially winning score.
If you want to do a running play, you can, because you do have 2 timeouts, but I would be shocked if they ran one.
And a little play action play over the middle to Malloy. Did he hang on? Yes, he did. No, the refs are saying no. And that brings an uproar on the St. Ignatius bench. Malloy still pleading his case to the refs, but they aren't hearing it. And that was tough to see.
It was. Because there was so much contact right as Malloy got his hands on the ball, it's hard to believe he'd be able to make that catch. It's almost like an NFL catch over the middle right as you get hit. So when an official is in that tough spot, did he catch it, did he not? You kind of have to use your common sense there and just think, like, did Malloy really catch that with the linebacker right on top of him like that? Probably not.
And this time a pitch play to Tallarico, who stumbles in the backfield, and that could be costly. He got back to the line of scrimmage, but that was it. And a timeout smartly called by Matt Miller.
1 timeout remaining, and we'll stay with the action here. We appreciate you watching the broadcast. By the way, we will upload all of the footage in both 720 and 1080p on the regular Sports Broadcast Solutions broadcasting channel. We're on the backup one tonight as we had a lot of streams tonight. We were a busy company tonight. But once again, if there's ever an internet problem, we do always upload 720 and 1080p content to the YouTube channel, which includes our pre- and post-game interviews.
Thank you, Kyle, and thank you guys for watching. We definitely appreciate you all tuning in for some high school football action when there are a lot of other games that are kind of rocking the betting universe, or really every universe, and destroying my bracket and credibility as a basketball fan, apparently. But this is definitely a good game, and we might see an overtime, as we've seen on already a handful of March Madness contests, just a little bit south of here in Indianapolis and in West Lafayette. So 57 seconds left. 3rd and long for St. Ignatius. And boy, do they need a big play here. Back to passes Rugai. Rugai going for Tallarico over his head, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And that is not the first time we've seen an overthrown deep ball attempt from Leo Rugai. His first game in a year and a half was not been his best from the air, but he does have the only score as a flag is down. Refs discussing midfield on what would be a huge penalty depending on who it goes against. And it is going against St. Ignatius.
Carl is taunting on the offense.
That is a strange call.
Yeah.
Why would... I'm not saying it didn't happen, but why would St. Ignatius want to taunt when they're down by 7? They've been having trouble passing the ball most of the night, and they are running out of timeouts. Maybe it did happen. I mean, he's closer to the field than I am, but, you know, as the sideline judge, you have a lot of guts to make that call.
And a penalty was changed to unsportsmanlike conduct, but that is a huge setback to St. Ignatius because they are now, have 4th and very long of about 20 yards.
Not much you can do on 4th and 20.
We're going to
heave up a prayer and hope for the best. Man, it worked though for the Philadelphia Eagles on 4th and 26. That famous playoff game against the Packers, but very rare do you convert on 4th and over 20. Not much in the playbook you can do for plays like this.
Rugani certainly has the arm and desire to throw the deep ball, and he's going to have to here. And we see a bit more shallow of a defense than you'd expect from Benet. But motion, and back goes Rugani. Blocking lets a man through. Tallarico intended through receivers, and it bounces off his chest for an incompletion. And that is something that he would like to have back. You just saw Evan Stewart collapse because he thought that his teammate would have that one. But what a heartbreaking way to end this for St. Ignatius.
It's not over yet, though, Josh, because remember, Benet has had a little bit of the fumble rooskies as St. Ignatius had. They could fumble the snap. I don't see it happening. And, in fact, they're probably going to go shotgun, as some college teams and some high school teams in the victory formation go shotgun instead of typically under center. But Benet has fumbled a couple of snaps, too, so it's not over yet until Benet snaps that ball. But, yeah, a tough way to lose for St. Ignatius. It sure looked like it was in Tallarico's hand a couple of plays before that. It was in Malloy's hands until it wasn't. But, you're not going to win many games scoring 7 points. And then that's really the story of this game. St. Ignatius had their chance, but you just can't win in many games scoring only 7 points. You need more from your offense. Wasn't the case today. Benet has a good defense, but a lot of teams in this Catholic Conference have good defenses. You got to find a way to combat that.
And not a couple of missed opportunities for St. Ignatius as well, but can't discount that they played such a solid game after being off a year and a half. And the shotgun in the victory formation for Bafia, who, if we had an award, he'd be getting it for the player of the game. Just a very strong performance in his first start. 12 for 20 for 119 yards through the air and a touchdown. And, of course, that 57-yard touchdown, which would be our play of the game if we had such things. 8 carries for 86 yards on the ground, doing all kinds of work for the Red Wings, and a big key in this victory as the clock is going to tick out of time for St. Ignatius, dropping the first one on their home field. So 1-0 goes Benet, 0-1 goes St. Ignatius, and we're going to have a chance to talk to guys from each team after this game. And we'll also be back at St. Ignatius next week. We'll have more on all of that and some post-game interviews here on Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcast network for everyone. Give a big congratulations to Benet getting their first victory of the season.
We'll take a break. Coming up next, the post-game show brought to you by St. Ignatius College Prep Athletics Department. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
My name is Patrick Winter, and I'm the chair of the Religious Studies Department at St. Ignatius College Prep. This is the department where we take the academic discipline of theology and we engage our students in questions about God, about meaning, about purpose. You know, I think of us as kind of a worldview department. And what we do is we take the students who come in, we meet them where they are, but then we try to take them somewhere else, somewhere new. What happens in our classrooms is that it becomes kind of a dynamic exchange between the students and their own context and their own experience and the tools that we try to offer to them, and out comes something.
Your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcast on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Welcome back to Fornelli Field after the first game of the season, a 14-7 win for the visiting Benet Academy Red Wings. And we have our Benet player of the game, the quarterback, Nick Boffey. Nick, a great game for you, lethal in both the ground and the air. How do you kind of combine both of those parts into your game?
Yeah, so last year I actually played some defense. I was a cornerback, so I've always had that speed and athleticism. And we really focused on that this year for giving me some running plays to get to open holes. Credit to my O-line today. They opened up some gaps for me, and I was able to get that long touchdown run.
Well, speaking of which, I mean, that was one of the highlight plays of the game, just a nice burst down the sideline. Kind of take me through what happens in your head in a play like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a read on their D end, and once I saw him fly out, I knew I got to pull the ball and just saw open grass and had to hit it.
And then, of course, that ended the game. Nick did a lot of the work, but you threw a nice little screen pass to him. Did you know he was good once he caught that pass?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been really impressed with him this year and how he's played in practice leading up to this game. So I knew for a fact he was going to be a great player for us this year.
And something that everyone's got on their minds is, of course, we're marching, we're starting our football season. Mm-hmm. Talk about the off season and how different the preparation was with such a shortened season and in a completely different year of the school year.
Yeah, obviously preparation was a lot different this year. I mean, I'm proud of how our players have adjusted to that. I mean, we were working hard since last March, even when this whole thing hit, and we had our masks on, running at any open field we could get to. So the grind never stopped, but like I said, I'm really proud of how we've battled the adversity.
And certainly paid off today. You started with scoreless for most of the game, but then you guys kind of broke out in that third quarter. What do you think you guys can do in the next game to kind of build off this start?
Yeah, defense honestly motivated us. We knew at halftime there were some plays that were open. We just had to execute, limit the mistakes. Our penalties kind of killed us on some drives. But once we cleaned that up, those last few plays I thought were really sharp.
And certainly was, and a sharp game and a great way to start off the season. Nick, thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Go with our player of the game for the home team, St. Ignatius. A couple of nice punt returns, some strong plays on the offensive side of the ball, and a lot of showing of speed. So talking about the importance of speed in your game.
Yeah, I like to use the speed to my advantage, and especially the quickness side to side. That's what I think I'm best at.
And one of the biggest drives for you guys was that touchdown drive. You had a couple of nice run plays, a long receiving play, which is, I think, the longest play of the game for your side. I mean, that was very soon after Nick had just led Benet to that touchdown drive, and what was in your guys' head when you started that? Because it really kind of changed up the plays you guys have been running.
Well, yeah, it was a 0-0 game up until he scored that touchdown. So we knew we had to put something on the board, and we needed a big play, and we got it there, and then we were able to punch it in.
And it really was. And the defense was certainly the story of this game, though. As we were just saying, it was scoreless until the third. You guys had a couple of chances, a couple of almost interceptions on each side. Talk about the defensive element of this team and how what their mentality is.
Yeah, we were really happy with our defensive performance this game. Last year we played Benet. We let up around like 35 points against them, so we were really excited about that coming into this and getting ready to stop them. So when it was 0-0 at halftime, we were looking for a shutout.
And what did you learn from last year's team? Obviously, a lot of things have changed in that, but that helped you like cut their scoring in half.
Yeah, well, it was good to get a game against them last year, so we knew what we had coming against us, and then we were just ready to go this year. I think the long wait helped us get ready to go, but we're looking to score more points next time.
Certainly was difficult for everyone, but the loss aside, it's got to be nice to start off the season on your home field. And you're a senior. Just let me talk about what it means to have this season start on your home field.
Yeah, our coach has been saying we don't know when our last game when this could be our last game, if someone gets COVID or anything. So we're just playing every game like it's our last, going to 100%. Yeah.
And it's a shorter season. There's no shot at the state title. What's one thing that you want to accomplish this year?
Well, we're just motivated to play hard, play physical, play fast, just try to win as many games as possible.
And it's certainly a good goal and an admirable start of the season. But next week we're going to be here covering your game. And what do you need to improve on from this week to get that first win of the season?
Yeah, we play IC next week. They're a really good team. We know what's coming up against us. We gotta focus on the offense, put up some points. Our defense is looking pretty good. Keep up what we've been doing.
Certainly a good place to start on, and there's going to be some more football on Sports Broadcasting Solutions. Catch EJ and St. Ignatius back here on their home field next week at this time. We're going to take a quick break and leave you guys with some final post-game thoughts on Sports Broadcasting Network, Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcast network for everyone.
My name is Patrick Winter, and I'm the chair of the Religious Studies Department at St. Ignatius College Prep. This is the department where we take the academic discipline of theology and we engage our students in questions about God, about meaning, about purpose. I think of us as kind of a worldview department. And what we do is we take the students who come in, we meet them where they are, but then we try to take them somewhere else, somewhere new. What happens in our classrooms is that it becomes kind of a dynamic exchange between the students and their own context and their own experience and the tools that we try to offer to them, and out comes something that is a mix of the religious studies curriculum that's grounded in the Catholic tradition, but also that's brought to life by their own experience and their own reflection and the questions that they have. And the students who we teach really do a wonderful job of actively engaging in that dynamic process.
(14-7) the final score. Kyle Smith alongside Josh Sperber, and just wasn't the result that the home fans of St. Ignatius wanted to see. Josh, what you did like to see the resolve of this team when it was 7-0. You thought, okay, well, that's the touchdown that we couldn't give up, and they came back down the field. A good pass.
Had their shots to win, but only one team can come out victorious.
Absolutely, and at the same time, what St. Ignatius has to work on, obviously pass the ball, but how do they work on that? Got to get the ball to your tight ends. You can't just go 2 wide receiver, 3 wide receiver sets. Got to be able to use those X and Y tight ends, get them out in space, do some good blocking schemes. I'm not saying that you have to do those screens at the line of scrimmage, those pick plays, but what you want to do is kind of do those little X with one wide receiver and the other one that frees up space for your tight ends. I didn't see enough of that from St. Ignatius tonight. At the same time, great defense from St. Ignatius, especially with their DNs and linebackers on their pursuits.
And we talked about this a lot in the game, was their reliance on Cam Robertson. He's a very good running back, and he had a couple of nice plays in this season, but they kept on going to him for those little shots up the middle. You don't want to just run dive after dive after dive and expect some big play to break out every time. And it seemed like in the early going, that was their default play. And then once they switched it up a little bit, they had those couple of pitch plays to start off, and then that deep shot to Tallarico, that's when they had success. So really, St. Ignatius needs to do a better job of mixing up their plays, because when they can confuse the defense, give them different looks on the offensive side, they can make something happen.
I also didn't see a lot of people in motion tonight for St. Ignatius, and that could be blamed on the pandemic, not enough practice time, because if you can't practice people in motion, you're just going to get illegal formations all night, and we saw a couple of legal formations for both teams, especially for the Wolfpack. Final thoughts, Josh. My final thoughts are, for the Wolfpack, obviously you need more on offense. Number 2, just a little bit better quarterback play. Rugai was a little bit short on those passes, especially the potential touchdown pass to make it 7-0 St. Ignatius on the fourth and 10 deep into Bennett's territory. A little bit better quarterback play, but more importantly, better offensive line, and just, a little bit more creative on the play calling.
Yeah, if Rugai made 2 or 3 of those deep balls, a couple of them he overthrew, a couple of them hit off the hands, chest of the receiver. If he made a couple more of those deep balls, this game could have been an absolute blowout. So I'm just excited to see St. Ignatius again next week, because they've got some talented guys on this team, and if they can mix up their play calling a bit, they can make for a very fun night of football in a week's time.
Absolutely. Well, we will be here for that game, so we appreciate you watching this one. We'll be here next week, as it should be a good one. St. Ignatius against Marmion Academy. But for my partner, Josh Berber, we have to bid you adieu. Final score, Benet Academy 7, St. Ignatius College Prep 7, 14 for Benet, 7 for St. Ignatius. And we'll see you next time. Another production of Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.